The Vanity of the Rat by Yung Taipyun. A long time ago, there lived a rat couple who had one daughter. Her name is Rena. Since they had no other children, they gave her everything. When it's become time for their daughter to marry, they wanted only the best husband for her. They thought about all of the rats that they knew, but none of them were good enough for their daughter. One day, Mr. Rat said to his wife, "I know who will make the perfect husband for our daughter, the sun." "The sun? Why do you think the sun would make a good husband?" asked Mr. Rat. "Because there is none more powerful in the world than the sun," answered Mr. Rat. Yes, the sun is the most powerful. He's bright as well. Let's ask him at now," said Mr. Rat. Mr. and Mrs. Rat went to Mr. Sun. "Oh, Mr. Sun." Mr. and Mrs. Rat went to Mr. Sun. "Oh, Mr. Sun," called Mr. and Mr. Rat. "Yes, what can I do for you?" answered Mr. Sun. Sun called Mr. and Mrs. Rat. "Yes, what can I do for you?" answered Mr. Sun. "Should you accept my wife, and I would like to offer you our daughter's hand in marriage," asked Mr. Rat. "I'm honored, but why do you want me to marry your daughter?" "Because you are so powerful and magnificent, Mr. Sun," answered Mr. Rat. "Well, I'm pleased that you think so highly of me, but there is one that is more powerful than me," replied Mr. Sun. "Who might that be?" asked Mr. Rat. "Mr. Cloud, of course. I am powerless when he covers me," Mr. Sun said. "Yes, so true. Come on, dear. Let's go see Mr. Cloud," said Mr. Rat. They climbed up an early mountain over which a big cloud hung in the sky. They called to Mr. Cloud, telling him what Mr. Sun had said, and offered their daughters hand in marriage. Again, the couple received a much different answer than what they were expecting. What the sun said is true, however. I am powerless when I meet Mr. Wind. Wherever he blows, I must go, explained Mr. Cloud. Yes, of course, said Mr. Rat. So they then set out to find Mr. Wind. Coming down the mountain, they found Mr. Wind in a grove of trees. He already heard this story. "I'm strong, can make a big tree fall over or blow down a house. I can shake up an ocean, but try as I may, I can't move Mr. Wall," said Mr. Wind. "Then we'll just have to ask him," said Mr. Rat. So Mr. and Mrs. Rat hurried down the mountain to Mr. Wall, standing near their village. "Well, I am flattered that you want me to marry your daughter, but I don't think I'm right for her either. I am indeed strong, and Mr. White can move me, but I no means the strongest of them all. There is one that can make me fall over easily. The very thought of is making me shake already," replied Mr. Wall. Please tell us who," asked Mr. Rat. "None other than you and your cousins, the moles. You and your cousin are very strong. Why? Because if you burrow under my feet, I fall over and land on my head. I'm no match for you," explained Mr. Wall. How true, how very true. Of course, the race of rat is the most powerful of all. Thank you, you've been very helpful. Yes, and I know just the person, that nice Roger. Rat, who seems to like Rena so much, and his parents are such good friends of ours too, said Mr. Rat. Old Roland, Rat's boy, an excellent idea. Let's see if he is now, said Mr. Rat. When Roger Rat appeared, Mr. and Mrs. Rat told him of their offer, which he accepted immediately. Rena was very much delighted that her parents were arranging for her to marry him. Mr. Rat was convinced that he had made the best possible watch for his adoring daughter.